If you're a woman who deeply craves to heal her feminine, but somehow you find yourself unable to fully receive that healing, you are not alone. Most of us experience this when we first step onto this path. You do the work, you set the intentions, but something still feels blocked. Why does this happen? Why do some women unknowingly repel the very healing they desire? Before we dive in, I want you to pause and then check in with yourself for a moment. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you learn about the feminine energy, something still feels out of reach? You understand it intellectually, theoretically, but when it actually comes to feeling safe in your softness, your receiving, your emotions, and fully embodying your feminine, there's a resistance. Or maybe you've never ever felt connected to your feminine at all. You're so used to being in the doing mode, handling everything on your own, that the idea of slowing down, softening, and receiving feels almost unnatural and even uncomfortable. I was there too. If that resonates, sister, you're not alone. And this is exactly what I've decided to explore today. Why some women unknowingly block feminine healing and how you can start shifting from knowing to embodying. Okay, the first reason is you are stuck in the masculine drive. Most of us are conditioned to primarily operate from our masculine energy. If you don't know already, we have both the energies inside of us, our inner masculine and inner feminine. But for years, our bodies are programmed to stay in the go-go mode, pushing, achieving, and constantly doing. And because of this, our ability to feel, receive, and flow, it gets suppressed. And here's the challenge. When you get onto the path of feminine healing, it requires you to slow down, relax, and surrender into the path of receptivity. But for some women, this feels like inaction or even failure. We have been taught that doing means staying always in action. And this feels like a safe territory to our bodies. So when we try to lean into the feminine and try to slow down our systems, our body resists, thinking that it's an unsafe state to be in. Now, reason number 2 is deep-rooted societal conditioning. This ties into the first reason, but let's go deeper. Our society is built on the masculine framework of doing and achieving, and the softness is often mistaken as weakness. And the key feminine trait, which is feeling into our emotions, is considered unproductive or even unnecessary. I have seen this firsthand with my clients. When women come for the feminine embodiment session, some of them unknowingly try to rush through the session as if they have somewhere to reach. Staying busy is so conditioned in the system of their physical body that they find it really hard to just sit with their emotions and let them flow. There's this huge resistance sitting in the body. And for some of them, there's a complete disconnection from their emotional body. Not because they lack depth, but because they were never taught how to actually feel safely. Reason number 3 is a bit deeper, which is the collective fear of the feminine. So here's something that isn't talked about often. Many of us subconsciously fear the feminine. Yes, that's true. Even though the feminine is soft and nurturing, there's an aspect of the feminine which is wildly passionate and powerful. And when we start to go deep into the feminine healing, we experience the presence of that. Yes. And that sometimes feels scary to some people. There was a time when women were honored for their gifts, their intuitive power, and their emotional intelligence. Feminine wisdom played a crucial role in supporting the masculine, the men of the society. But over time, that very power became feared and eventually got suppressed. But on a subconscious level, since we are connected to the collective, many women carry this inherited fear of the feminine, and they fear embracing their full feminine essence. We fear our emotions because they feel too chaotic. We resist surrender because we think that makes us vulnerable and hence unsafe. But the truth is, feminine is not weak. It is a force. And reclaiming it fully requires deep trust, deep healing, and unlearning centuries of conditioning. Reason number 4 is intellectualizing versus embodying feminine healing. The biggest trap on the path of feminine healing journey is that many women understand what feminine is intellectually, theoretically, as I said before, but they do not understand the concept of embodying it. We read about it, we talk about it, we understand the concept of it, concepts of softness, surrender, and receptivity. But when it comes to understanding actually living as an embodiment of that state, all these states, trusting our emotions, moving with the wisdom of the body, and fully surrendering to the flow of life, that's where the resistance shows up. This happens because mind wants, again, structure, logic, and control, while the feminine is fluid, receptive, intuitive, and deeply felt. And this state can only be experienced and achieved when we allow ourselves to dive deep into the realm of feminine healing. And true feminine healing isn't about just to know what needs to be done. It's about actually feeling it into your body, neck down, allowing your emotions to move through you with your full surrender and living in alignment with your inner rhythms. So, my loves, ask yourself, are you just thinking about healing your feminine energy, or are you actually ready to live it? If you find yourself constantly consuming information and all the time seeking healing from an external resource, but struggling to feel any real shifts, this might be your sign to go deeper, move beyond knowledge, and get into the full body embodiment. And feminine healing is not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about undoing anything that has disconnected you from your true feminine essence, your feminine presence, and your natural state. It's about peeling back all those layers of conditioning and returning to the truth of who you are. So today I invite you to take a deep breath, feel into your body, and ask yourself, am I resisting, or where am I resisting my feminine energy? And how can I soften into it instead? This journey for you will not be about perfection. It'll always be about coming into your presence. And the more you will allow yourself to be with your feminine, the more she will reveal herself to you. If you're ready to start your feminine healing journey the right way, if you're ready to take that first step, I have a video that guides you through exactly those steps. Check it out. The video on the screen, it must be somewhere here. I'll try to tag it, and I'll also give you the link of it in the description box. I'll talk to you next time.